Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Previously, our heroes were journeying through the Underdark to end a string of mysterious disappearances. But first, they decided to loot an empty town. Will the magical armor they found be safe to wear? Will Ranger get any of his memories back? And will Xanthus show up to try to kill them? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Why is he sniffing his butt then?
Oh, that's just, it's politeness.
Oh, okay.
You know, dogs do that to each other. So Quinny, I mean, you got to speak the language. He speaks it fluently. You should see him lick his own balls.
Hey, Quinny, I'll give you a dog treat if you lick your own balls.
Give me the dog treat first.
Lick your balls.
Give me the dog treat first.
Lick your balls.
Give me one of those potions.
Okay. Oh, no, you didn't lick your balls.
So as you kind of pack the armor in, Butthole, I'd say based on your rolls and kind of what you know about armor, your guess is that this armor seems like it's got resistance to something. You're not quite sure what, but it looks like it will yield resistance to the wearer. You'd probably need to get it identified to figure out what.
Juniper, it causes resistance. You want to slap this sucker on?
Yeah.
All right, so we give that to her, but then I'm like, you got to trade something for a Goblin Jr. if you're going to keep it. Or is it alone? Goblin Jr., Snarf once if it's alone, or Snarf 2 if you want to trade for something.
Snarf.
All right, so you can wear it till, I don't know, you're dead or returns. Here you go. You're never going
All
to
right.
die. I got raised
All
dead.
right, so I'm gonna swap out my chainmail for this funky armor.
All right.
And do I feel anything?
Juniper, when you put the armor on, it fits decently well, but also you're a shapeshifter, so that's a fairly understandable thing. As you kind of move the armor around a little bit, you can feel that it almost seems to lock up if you move it too hard or too quickly. You get the sense that it might have resistance to bludgeoning.
Oh, interesting. Butthole, you've got a hammer, right?
Correct.
Do you want to take a light swing?
Here's the deal. Even if it stops, I'm very strong. Do you really want to take a part of a hit?
I'll hit.
It's a light swing.
I mean, if you don't want to do it, if you want a weaker person, I would do it. By which I mean I would put it in this one's hands and I would take a mouse swing.
I take a throwing hammer out of Goblin Jr.'s holster thing and I just whip it at your chest.
So sure enough, when the throwing hammer hits, the portion that it hits hardens, and the throwing hammer bounces off it ineffectively.
Hey! I'm going to wear this then.
Given that you don't know what the name of the item is, we're going to call it the Armor of Blingdenstone.
Does that boost your AC at all?
You're wearing chain?
Yes.
Great. So that will be the same.
Awesome.
So having successfully looted the unarmed town, as you've been looking around, you've definitely seen more of these flyers kicking around. It definitely seems that people have gone missing. That said, you've also found a few points of interest. You found the house center, which seems to be the seat of power. It has been abandoned, but you're able to identify kind of like here, City Hall. Around the town, you can see these sort of large upright stones. Think Stonehenge without a top. You can sense some kind of magical energy coming off them. There's a temple that is known as the Ruby in the Rough. Its doors are ajar, but you have not set foot in it yet. As well as a tavern where you can actually hear some noises inside.
Better check out the noise before the noise comes to us.
I'll also say if you listen near the Ruby in the Rough, you can hear some echoing noises.
If the cult of Cortexus did come through here, I mean, you know better than I would, but I feel like temples and cults from different deities don't get along well.
Yeah, if it's unrelated, I mean, I'd be interested to look at the temple just because a cleric would be the person who's most likely to be able to resist being absorbed into something like this. If it's mind control, because we're typically
I see what you're saying.
pretty focused.
Meanwhile, Ranger has just walked into the bar.
We turn around and realize he's not there, go, shit, and then just turn and go after
So,
Ranger.
Ranger, you walk into the Foaming Mug. It looks like it would have been a lovely tavern at some point, but the hearth is cold. That said, you come in and immediately to your heightened sense of smell, you can smell spilt ale. And as you walk in, you see a small, hairy-looking fellow look up at you with wide eyes and go, "Oh, fuck!" and sort of stumble into the back room.
What the hell was that? Oh, well, drinky time. So much beer all over the table.
Oh, God, he's not even going to pour
It
it.
should be in my stomach right now. He puts his mouth on the corner.
This is the point where we enter behind him, seeing him drinking off of a table. So, Ranger, was anyone in here?
We've lost
What?
him.
Was anyone in here, like when you came in, or was you alone?
No, yeah, there was a dude. He ran off on account of probably wanted to score with a chick or something. I don't know. It's a bar.
Where did he go?
Leave me be to my table ale.
Where did he go?
Excuse me, new friend. I'm so sorry about this guy. We're not part of it. Basically, we just want to figure out how to make life better and figure out where everybody went and bring him back. So, do you have info?
No one's home.
See, I like you already because you're not a very good liar. We're here on orders of Quenthel Boehner.
I don't know who that is, and there's still no one home. Enjoy your table ale and leave me alone.
I'm sorry. We're gonna need information from you.
I'm marched back there.
Yeah, I'm now
gonna
going
fucking
back
get this
there.
guy.
So you walk back, and it's like a kitchen, and there's clearly like an upside down pot that a guy is peeking out from under.
I grab a wooden spoon.
What are you doing with that?
I just start banging on the cauldron like a gong.
No. Let's roll his con check. It's bad. It's a 3. So he just starts screaming, and then you hear vomiting.
God, him to get out. I didn't want him to have a fucking aneurysm.
Now I push Quinny away and I
Jesus.
lift the pot up and I'm like, I am so sorry about how he handled this.
A little, very drunk deep gnome gets up from his vomit pool, and he rears back and he just kicks you as hard as he can in the shin.
I'm wearing plate mail.
I know. He takes 4 points of damage and his foot shatters.
Oh,
So he
no.
falls over going, oh, my tootsies!
Now I walk back over and I hold the spoon like under his chin as if it's like a dangerous weapon.
Hey, man, maybe don't fuck with me. I'll fuck you up.
I'm going to reach down and cast Lesser Restoration, which can heal him of one condition, which in this case will be intoxication. So
Not the busted foot.
No, I can't. I don't think I can heal a full broken limb. No, it's just like blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. I think this qualifies as poisoned at this
Cool.
level.
So, Ranger, meanwhile, you have now finished your table. You haven't eaten in a while, so you're getting a little tipsy.
Hey, small hairball. Got any peanuts?
Oh, no.
What kind of tavern doesn't have peanuts?
So you're going to start looting for peanuts?
Yes.
All right. Can you roll me an investigation check, please?
So that's a 5.
You find a jar of pickled eggs that is dry. So there's just a bunch of shriveled pickled eggs at the bottom. That said, you also find a cask of wine.
Hey now, pickled wine, anybody? Put the two together, what do you get? A
mess.
happy ranger.
So Ranger begins to down pickled wine. Meanwhile, Butthole, you cast Lesser Restoration on the gnome. And as you're doing it, he's grasping at your arm going like, no. And then as he sobers up, just kind of shoves your hand off and he staggers to his feet. And he starts walking out the door muttering, I'm coming, sir. Sorry, I'm coming.
So I grab him by the collar and I'm like, okay, we got to get him fucked up again, apparently.
Ranger, save some of that pickled egg wine.
Yeah, sure. Come on, have some with me.
Well, that hits you hard, huh?
Ranger, for the first time in a while, you're drunk, but your head is clear.
Oh,
You can no longer feel the draw.
hey, this isn't right. We have to get out of here now. Something doesn't smell good. And I mean that in the metaphorical sense, not in the literal sense. It always smells terrible everywhere I go.
Wait, do you know where we're supposed to go anymore?
We've got to go to the ruby red place.
Okay, so here's the thing. Do we like Ranger better drunk or sober? Because one of these two can be drunk and safe, and the other will lead us theoretically where we need to go. So I've got broken foot gnome, or I've got this idiot.
Oh, Hershey, no!
Oh, he's
But
drunk
that's
and
about
sad
her.
about
Yeah,
Hershey.
that's about
Yeah.
Hershey.
I want to give him a Hershey's kiss.
I don't want to know what that is in the context of your friendship with
So
Hershey.
what we're saying is Ranger
That's
sober,
right,
gnome
yes,
drunk?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Never thought this is what any of us would want,
No,
you know? And then
seriously.
I can lay on hands to cure poisoning.
Sure. Then, yeah, if you want to
Just-
do that to him, and then I just take the jug of pickled egg wine and I pick the eggs out. I'm not doing that to this fucking gnome. And then I just help the gnome get, just get sort of fucked up.
He's like, thank you so much better. Otherwise, you hear Cortexes all the time. Hey, I like you. My name is Richard Hornswoggle, and it is nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too, Richard. So you're
Hi,
saying
Richard.
You can call me the Hornswoggle, baby.
Richard, let's
Tries to stand up and falls over because his foot
So
is broken.
I'm gonna pick him up and put him in a chair and just keep a hand on the back of his collar, pinning it to the back of a chair so he can't fall on his broken foot anymore. Juniper, I apologize for the mild harassment from this gnome.
Hey, I just say you're pretty handsome too. I mean, forget about the juniper layer. What about you? What's your story?
A, am handsome. B, sort of enjoying the attention. You can keep this one rolling. Juniper, do you want to heal this foot or do I need to heal this foot?
Oh, I can heal this foot.
Okay.
Sure. I'll lay on hands
I
again.
got two beautiful people. One of them's healing my foot.
Okay, so you were part of a cult, am I correct? You heard a voice in your head?
Cult of having fun. Yeah, I did though. It was bad. That one was real bad. I don't like that cult at all.
You have to get drunk to not hear the cult?
It helps. It's in your brain, you see. It's in your brain.
Fuck it, you know where the cult is. And I pointed Ranger, and I'm like, I don't think we need this guy.
My head is ringing like a bell. Listen, wee man, and I'm not talking to you, Quinster. Tell us where the cult is, or I'm gonna suck your eyeballs out of your dick hole.
Ranger, you're hungover. You know that part of you that keeps pulling you into the distance?
Yeah.
That's going to the cult. You know where the cult is. We got you
all right.
sober, so you know where the cult is. We got him drunk, so he wouldn't keep trying to walk on his broken foot.
Hey, who's this guy? I like him.
Hey, I like you, fella.
Oh, jeez. That's real. You guys are nice.
I just looked at Quinny, and I'm like, can you think of a single question that this is going to be a part of?
Honestly, the big one that keeps coming back to me is why the fuck am I here? But that's neither here nor there. Hey, Richard.
There's the hornswoggle to you, baby.
Okay, Richard.
I like you. Look at your little cloak.
Richard, I need you to focus.
I am. It's a pretty nice
No,
cloak.
just get the question out.
Yeah.
It look real good next to my lamp floor. I fucked it up. There's a better version of it. You know.
Quinny, talk faster.
How did you get into the cult of Cortexus? How did you join?
It's just that everybody started talking about it, and then just suddenly everybody's leaving. They're all going to the temple and then disappearing. But me, I'm smart, so I came here and I drank the table beer, and now I party. Hey, my foot hurts. Oh, now it doesn't. All right.
I just raise a fist and look around to see if anyone's going to stop me.
So, like, listen, is this gonna happen? Because, like, I got room for
punch
4
him
upstairs.
square in the face, knocking
Richard,
him out.
this is going to happen, and just let Butthole wail on him.
I think we should go to the temple.
I agree, Ranger, as Richard hopefully falls unconscious.
Yeah, he's just like, you punch him through the chair into the ground.
Yeah, I'm holding him by the collar so he gets the force in the head. It's like I pull it a little bit because I don't really want to kill him, but I'll knock him clean out. That's fine.
I'm going to look for 4 bottles of the strongest shit this place has.
Oh, that's a good call, Quinny.
So you just shove aside a couple of Bud Light Radlers, and you find yourself
This isn't hell.
you find yourself some off-brand liquor called Gandalf's Finest.
The Gandalf.
The Gandalf's Finest, and it's got a wizard brewing it on the front, but it's clearly 90% proof. Just fucking. If you turn the bottle, it moves slowly like molasses. It'll get the job done. If it's got a label that classy and the word "the" in front of it, what could go wrong?
All right, I pass it out. I say for emergencies only, and I look at and one more time I look at a Ranger as I hand him his, and you like go to reach for it. You're shaking your head no.
Yeah,
like I
I'm just like
give it to him.
butthole to the side. It's like, no.
I'm keeping yours, Ranger. I'll give it to you when I think you're ready.
That's a good call.
So together you venture back out into the streets and start making your way towards the temple. So you approach the doors to the Ruby in the Rough large temple. The door is slightly ajar and you can hear echoing noises.
I'll go in first. I can see in the dark. I'm the quietest.
Yeah, you're sneaky though. That's fine.
I'll come
We'll
back.
be ready outside the door. So if we hear anything, we can all like bust in. And I will. I'll have Moonlight Bringer in hand and be ready to cast lights, so we can just like flood the place with bright lights if it's bad.
I've got my blade of walls at the ready in one hand, shield in the other.
Tyler, can you please roll me a stealth check?
Okay. 23.
You are like the wind. So you make your way up to the doors, gently shift them open. Inside, you can see sort of a large cathedral-style building. So there's pews at the far end. There's a small pulpit. And directly in front of the pulpit, you see a massive hole seemingly carved out of stone very roughly. It's dimly lit in here. There don't seem to be any torches still going. But in dark vision, yeah, you can kind of see there seems to be something kind of dark along the rim of the hole.
Okay, I'm going to approach the hole from my hiding spot. I'm walking towards the other end, from the entrance to the other end, just to get an idea of like if anyone else is in this room, and then I'm going to double back. So basically, I just want to check between the pews kind of thing while still hiding, and then make my way back.
You can hear some noise echoing out of the pit. But no, there doesn't seem to be anyone in here.
Okay, I head back, open the door.
I will say, though, as you get closer to the hole, you notice there seems to be some discarded clothing, sort of like jackets.
Okay, I'm going to come back to the door, open it. Guys, coast is clear here, but there's a giant hole in this cathedral, and that's where the sound is coming from.
Let's go check it out, I guess. We'll go in with all of us. Should we light it up or should we stay subtle?
Stay subtle. Also, there's some kind of liquid around the rim of this hole. I don't know what it is.
Okay, don't touch that until we get close. So I got the goggles of the owl on, so take Juniper's hand. You're Juniper now, right?
I'm Juniper now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take Juniper's hand and put it on my shoulder so I can lead you depending on how dark it is inside. Goblin Jr. is a wolf, so he kicks ass. And then I guess I'll let Ranger go in the front, and then I'll follow behind him in the line, and then Quinny, you can either line up or flit around as necessary.
I'll stay separate from the group.
So you make your way in. As you approach the pit, you can see that the liquid appears to be a darkish, almost black, deep, deep, deep blue. It looks similar to the blood you saw on the gnome that you punched. Kind of on the edges, it's a stone floor that seems to have been broken through.
Has anything in the cathedral been disturbed? Pews knocked aside, moved aside?
Near the pit, pews seem to have been moved back a little bit, but not
deliberately moved back instead of something
it's not like
crashing
something,
up
no. It's not like
floor.
something exploded up through it, and it's not like something went rampaging through. It seems almost like they were moved just because they were in the way.
I want to take a piece of scrap because there's backpacks and all that kind of stuff. So something that's sort of 2 feet wide, like it could be a beam, could be literally anything.
Yep.
And then I just want to cast my light spell on it that makes it glow the 20 feet and the 20 feet. And then I want to throw it in the hole.
Let's say you find, I don't know, a hat. So you light it up and you toss it down the pit. As it sort of whistles down into the pit, you can see that it looks like it's been burrowed out, like it's been kind of excavated almost. It seems to slope down and away from you. As you look down, though, you can see a few corpses, gnome corpses along the sides, but it's not like there's a body pile. It looks almost like a tunnel that's been carved out somehow.
I really want to sled down this sucker.
Watching the light source fall, how deep before it starts to level out?
Not very. It's about a 10-foot drop,
okay.
But it curves. So it's not like it went down and out like a mine.
Yeah.
It seems to curve down and away. So the hat kind of falls down into the pit, then kind of rolls a little way away, but it's still casting glow back up towards you.
I'm going to take out my rope from my burglar's pack. I'm going to tie it a couple times around. What do we got? Like a pillar?
Sure. Yep.
I'm just going to tap Quinny on the shoulder and say, just a second. Ranger, what does your nutsack tell you? Where do you want to go right now?
It's guiding me down there for sure.
Okay, yeah, Quinny, keep doing your rope thing.
Yep. I'll tie it off at the pillar and then throw the rest of the rope down. It's 50 feet of rope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Bjorn Goblin Jr. It's been so long. So, I mean, it's just sort of nice to be on an adventure where I know what I'm doing. So I'll Bjorn him around myself.
Aww.
Yeah, and then Ranger, you're also like a sword swinging friend. And Juniper, you got your new armor. Who wants to go down first?
I will.
Okay, there we go. All right, Ranger, after you.
Okay, see you, lads.
God.
Do you just jump?
I'm holding on to the rope.
Okay.
So, Ranger, you slide down the rope. You kind of land on the slope. Your heels kick up from under you, and you kind of butt slide down. You kind of slide down this incline, passing a couple corpses, and then suddenly find yourself leveling out just past where the lip stopped, into a large chamber that seems to have, think like French catacombs. So yeah, there's pillars everywhere, and there's sort of a lot of
and
so many human skulls.
But instead of skulls, what you find in those little alcoves, there seem to just be a lot of wrapped bodies.
tiny excavation hole for little mummies, it looked like.
Why the hell do you dig a hole in the middle of your church when your whole society's underground anyway?
Yeah, so we all, I imagine,
Yeah.
right down. I'm going to tie my own rope as well, so we've got more than one rope if we need to come back up. But
I'm
then
going to keep
we
mine
go
just
down.
in case those
Cool.
ropes disappear.
So you all get down there, and what you can kind of see when you're all down looking around is it seems that at the far end of the catacombs, there's another hole that's been dug into the wall. What you see as you sort of look around, first of all, can everyone roll me a perception check?
20 total.
16.
13.
And also a 13.
So all of you can hear a scratching noise that almost seems to be rhythmically like scratch, 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 kind of to the northwest of you.
Can I see anything? I can
Between
see
the pillars-
120 feet in the dark.
Between the pillars, yeah, you can see a large furry creature moving through the pillars.
I summon Frostbrand in one hand and quietly say to everyone, something big and furry down that way. And I point towards the creature that I saw between the pillars. I'm going left.
Do you want us to go forwards? Like, you're the only one who can see. I don't know how far the owls, the goggles see, but there's no way it's 120 feet. You're the only one who can see, so you sort of got to call this one.
We can bring it to us if you want to have an exit strategy and climb up the rope again. We can fight it in the church if we want.
Odds of us all running up an incline while getting attacked are like low. This thing's probably better, but I'm like, if we just want to kill it, we can kill it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a friend. It could be a nice animal.
Man.
It could be innocent.
You too, Juniper?
Well,
Could be. We don't know yet.
she's got a point. I mean, technically, it's a different point. Hers is it's innocent. I think it might actually just be good.
I unsummon Ice Brand, like it disappears into my hand. I say, all right, I'll be right back. And I'm going to sneak a little closer to it.
Can you roll me a stealth check, please?
Dirty 20.
That beats mine. So as you approach, you see the creature seems to be kind of lumbering through the thing. It's mostly black with some white highlights. It seems to have some sort of insignia around its neck, and you recognize it to be a large cave badger.
What do I know about cave badgers?
To someone who doesn't know animals, you're literally like, that's a badger, but it's huge.
Yeah. What is it doing?
It seems to be wandering along, staring at each row of mummies, and then lumbering along to the next one and doing the same.
And is it making the rhythmic scratching sound?
Yes, its badger claws are scratching against the stone.
I do have speak with animals for beast speech. I will activate beast speech and call out to it in badger.
You call out to it, and what do you say?
With no confidence, Quinny says in badger, hello, new friend?
And the badger goes, whoa! And turns and looks at you and says, oh, you scared me so much.
You know, I was kind of scared too. Hi, I'm Quinny Brownbarrow.
Hello, my name is Wayne Johnston. You may call me The Pebble. That's what they all call me down here.
The Pebble?
The Pebble. It's kind of a fun name I have.
It's nice to meet you, the Pebble.
Oh, well, thank you. It's nice to meet you, the Quinny.
Ha ha ha.
Are you here to visit our honored dead? Or are you one of those other folks? The diggers.
We're not the diggers.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we were up at... Are you familiar with the Ruby in the Rough?
Yes, the temple.
Yeah, found a great big hole.
Oh,
in
yes,
the ground
yes. It's quite tragic, truly. It was such a beautiful structure.
Sure.
At least they didn't disturb too many of our beloved dead.
I came with some friends. Can I introduce you to them?
Oh, yeah, so, I mean, you did address me as a new friend, so I would hope that makes us friends.
Oh, my God, it works. Jesus Christ.
Meanwhile, cut back and Ranger's having a conversation with him. So anyways, bench press, I can do about 225 on a good day.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but on a bad day, 220.
You know, they always say you need to have that variable range,
Yeah.
though, because, like, you know, it's the off days that really build the muscle.
Yeah.
Guys, you were right. It is an innocent, friendly new friend. This is a cave badger named the Pebble. Pebble, do you speak common?
Oh, heavens, no, I'm a badger. How would I possibly?
I don't know. I speak common. You know, I was wondering.
How nice for you.
All right, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of...
telling me languages.
I'm going to have to do a bit of translating here.
Yeah, so we'll walk forward and join Quinny, and I'll do like an elaborate, gentle bow, just like, nice to meet you.
The badger tries to do that by just throwing its arms out and falling forward.
I clap. I just do a full applause break.
It says to her, thank you. Finally, someone understands decorum.
Now that I can see the badger, I will also cast Speak with Animals so
okay.
I can understand as well.
Oh, good. So you all speak badger, and the badger will turn to Ranger and just be like, and what is your name, fine fellow?
What's this?
This is a badger. You should bow.
I bow?
Yeah, it's an important badger. This is the king of badgers.
Ranger bows before no one, but if you say this thing's as important as it seems, all right. I wish for your love, powerful one.
Do you cast animal friendship?
Ooh, I can do that? Yes, I do.
So as you bow, Ranger, I don't think you consciously know how to cast spells, but you just want it. You want that friendship, and the power of your desire slowly infiltrates the badger, who says, oh, a new friend. Oh, I know this guy. We go way back. He's a delight.
Is that so?
Apparently.
Oh.
And the badger's just like vaguely spacey, but really all about its new buddy, Ranger.
Hey, there's my amigo.
Oh, yes, that's what we call each other. Amigos. It's our thing.
Let's do that special handshake we are known to do.
And the badger like rears up on its hind legs, and it reaches out one hand, palm up.
I just whip my head back and forth, and like my little end of my ponytail just slaps it 5 times.
Oh, yes, just like the good old days, I think.
Pebble, I don't want to interrupt, but tell us what you do down here.
Oh, well, I'm one of the many friendly badgers who lives down here and just helps take care of the revered dead.
Is it a caretaker kind of position that you
Well, yes. I mean,
facilitate?
normally there's priests down here with us. They normally bring us food and stuff. I haven't seen any in a while, which is strange, nor have I seen any of my brethren, but I'm sure they're around.
Okay. What can you tell me about the diggers?
Oh, it's so strange.
you mentioned.
Normally people only come down here to, see us or visit their dead. We're quite popular. We're kind of like the town mascot. People like us a lot. It's like,
sure,
look
yeah.
at the badgers, look at the badgers. And I'm like, oh, okay, please.
Totally.
But no, they haven't been around in quite some time. But for some reason, a lot of the townsfolk seemed very insistent on getting in, not during visiting hours, and seemed to break through. And as they came tumbling down, they ran through like a tide and started scratching away at the wall back there. You can see there are a number of them. Well, here, and the badger kind of leads you over to a very orderly pile under a tarp. It lifts the tarp up, and there's just a bunch of dead gnomes. A bunch of them died trying to get through. They worked themselves to death. So, I tidied them to the side, assuming someone would show up to look for them, but no one has.
Oh, my God.
I like Pat Goblin Jr. because all I'm hearing is like barks and grunts, but at the same time, I could see through the body language that the Badger and Quinny are becoming close friends. So we're almost having that like older couple seeing a young couple meet for the first time moment where we're like, see, Quinny's going to find his animal companion. It's perfect. So I just like walk up and offer some rations because I know this is about where in this conversation someone might want food.
I'm translating for you, like,
Oh, great.
vaguely. Like,
Well,
I'm giving you
well, now
rundown.
you will.
Yeah.
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 The badger takes the rations gratefully and eats them, having not eaten in a while. In inspecting the corpses under the tarp, you can see a lot of their fingers have been worn to nubs.
God damn.
And they all just look exhausted, and there seems to be kind of a manic look in their eyes. It's a horrifying display. The Cape Badger doesn't seem to quite understand how human faces work or humanoid faces, so it's just like, oh yeah, look, they all just fell over. Worked too hard, I guess. Mondays.
And it's clear that there's just like one newly dug tunnel that they're...
Yeah, so basically, if you think about it as the ceiling of the catacombs collapsed, they dug their way into that and then rushed along the length of the catacombs and then ripped out a back wall. And there's another...
keeps going?
Yeah, tunnel descending.
It's almost like these poor bastards were enslaved by some kind of tyrannical mind voice.
Propose an interesting theory there. Do any of the bodies look like not lame Liam? Because he's the only gnome we've seen a drawing of.
Can you roll me an investigation check?
8.
You do not see not lame Liam amongst them.
Pebbles, do you have any family elsewhere that you can go to?
I have my fellow cave bears, but I haven't seen any of them in quite some time. Oh, perhaps I could go to Mayor Peabody's house. He's always taken very good care of us cave bears. Cave badgers, yes. We call ourselves bears occasionally. It's kind of a humble brag because we're big, but we're not quite bear big. I mean, we're trying. If I could bench press 250, that would be great, but I could only make 220 on a good day, so,
Oh, I like this guy.
Don't read too much into this, guys, but I don't want this cave badger to get hurt with whatever's going on with everyone.
I think we all agree with that. This Cave Badger rules.
I love the badger.
Sure. He said he can go to the mayor's house. We haven't been there yet. We don't know if it's safe.
Is
Should
it
we
a
send
he
him
or
there?
a she? Or is it a they? Pronouns are important, so I
was
want to make sure we're
presumptuous of
getting them
me,
right.
you're right.
Pebbles, how do you identify?
I mean, we cave badgers tend not to see gender. My name is Wayne, but also the Pebble, and I kind of like the Pebble. That's my chosen name. I suppose if I had to choose one, I would say they would be nice for me. Thank you.
They have said that they've visited the mayor's house before and have been treated very well, but we don't know if the mayor's house is still safe.
They said we should look for the mayor, right? So should we go with the badger to the mayor's house, or do we keep going through the hole? Because I know, like, Ranger Scroat is pulling us in this direction.
And that's the cult member in him, right?
I think so.
Member. Haha. Anyway.
It's his cult member.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
The other member is uninitiated. That's why we have to go with the one member. They're not cult members.
No. Yeah, I guess I forgot about the mayor, to be honest. We should maybe check out his house. And then if it's good and clear, if the mayor's there and not a crazy cult maniac, we can leave Pebbles there. And then we can head down and see what's going on with all these other poor bastards.
Sound good to everybody else? What's everybody thinking?
Sounds good to me.
All right, Pebble, do you mind if we journey with you to go meet this Mayor Peabody?
On one condition, that my old pal, this guy, gets to ride on my back for old time's sake.
Oh, yeah!
So, Ranger, do you want to use Juniper's saddle, or do you just
Saddle
want
cavalry.
to...
I'm doing bareback.
So as the pebble carries you, the two of you reminisce, keeping in mind that this never happened, but as you try and collectively weave an amazing time you had together. What does that sound like?
Hey, remember the time we were at that sleepover at Becky Newsom's place?
Becky Newsom, yeah.
It was so cool. We were lighting candles and dripping the wax into the bucket to see our futures.
Yes.
And you were going to be the lead cave badger underground. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. That's why I wanted to be a
came
cave badger
true.
underground. Oh, it's so
It
good.
came true.
Oh,
yeah.
and what about, and I remember that you dripped the wax in and you wanted to be something more than just an elf. You wanted transformation. You wanted a life beyond the stars, if I recall.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's not.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Well, you know
I'm
what?
so sorry.
Dreams are created so that they can be crushed.
He's not saying exactly that, but this is Quinny translating for him. Quinny just getting sick of this back and forth that he's got to translate between a guy who has enchanted a beast he doesn't actually know the language of.
With that parade of nightmares, you arrive at the house center. So the house center similarly seems to have been abandoned. You can't hear or see any outward actions, but you kind of make your way up the stairs with Ranger still riding the pebble. You arrive at the door. This time you find that the doors are locked.
Knock, knock.
So you knock on the door and there's no response.
I'd look to the pebble and just say, so it's locked, no one's answering, and we need to keep safe in this like weird empty wonderland. Would you mind if we do some damage to this one door so we can go in and then we'll like close it?
Well, perhaps you should do some damage to this adorable welcome mat. And it swats aside a welcome mat and there's a key.
I'll take that key and unlock the door.
Pebble looks pretty happy because with giant badger hands, there's no way they could have opened the door.
Yeah, no, I got you, Pebble.
They managed to squeeze into the lobby, but that's kind of where they're going to hang out until you've done your sweep. They indicate that the mayor's office is upstairs.
Let's go upstairs then.
Think of this as sort of a standard administrative building. There's sort of a welcome area to the left. There seems to be sort of a kitchen, but all these seem to have been abandoned.
Yeah, I'll lock the door behind us so
Yeah.
that there's nobody coming in.
You don't see any barricades or anything. It's not like it's been boarded up from the inside. You make your way upstairs. On the second floor, there's a weird crest of Blingden stone. There seem to be some paintings of famous deeds and local history. You see one that seems to depict a drow with two scimitars and a panther, as well as a deep gnome with a hammer and a pick. It says, in honor of most honored barrow warden Belwar Disengulp. You can see some that indicate the help of the Mithril Hall and various other historic characters, King Brunir Battlehammer extending his hospitality, the triumphant return of Deep Gnomes to Blingdenstone. As you make your way past that, you find the mayor's office, which is also locked, but it seems to be a pretty simple door.
I mean, I'll knock first.
No response.
Thieves' tools.
So can you roll me a dexterity check, please?
28.
So clickety-click, the door swings open. Inside, you can smell kind of a musty smell. It's as though the room's been closed for a while. The room is very orderly. You can see there's bookshelves in the back, sort of a nice window looking out over the courtyard, a large, beautiful carved desk, and in the center of it, there seems to be a sealed envelope.
Mayor Peabody?
Nothing.
I'm just going to go in and look at the envelope, pick it up. Does it say anything?
So the front says, to whom it may concern.
I feel concerned, so I open
crack
it.
that open.
Inside, there is a letter from Mayor Peabody written in script. Quinny, I assume you use magic to read it. But it basically says,
Dear Mario.
I baked you a cake. Just basically says, I never should have invited them here. It's my fault. I'm sorry. Do not linger, or you shall share their fate. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't look for me. Peach. Brackets. Mayor Peabody. Brackets. His first name was Peach.
To whom it may concern, and just the vaguest goddamn letter.
Well,
he must.
The letter's pretty clear that we should get the hell out of here. Here's the interesting thing is he clearly invited whatever the hell this cult is here, and that's why everybody's screwed. But he did say if we go after them, then we're going to get trapped by the cult. Does anybody else not give a fuck about cults?
When he does raise his hand, that's right up his alley.
I don't like them.
Okay, I just mean, is anybody worried? I'm ready to
No.
still go after
I
them.
tap the bottle like, I brought my medicine.
Yeah, we got ready to get fucked up and fight.
I'm
That's,
not afraid.
I go 185 miles per hour every day I'm alive.
yeah,
Let's
you can
do this.
You can bench press so much.
so much.
Only a 5-pound variance. How are you feeling today? Is it a good day or is it a great day?
It's a cheat day.
That explains the table booze. So, Pebble,
Yes.
wonderful badger you, there is a chance that we might run into other badgers down there, obviously, because you said you has compatriots. Is there something we should wear or some way we could let them know that we're not part of the bad guy digging team?
Yeah, Pebble shakes their head pretty prolifically and shakes off the necklace and says, "Oh yes, just show them this. We all know what it means. It means we're caretakers of the beloved dead, all the mummies down there."
I'll pick it up and throw it over Butthole's head.
Cool. And then I guess I'll have you translate this as well, Quinny, but I say, "Hey, Pebble, thank you for everything. We'll leave you here along with some rations so you
Thank
can
you.
remain safe. However, if we don't come back within 5 days, does that seem reasonable?
I don't want to be here more than 5 days. I don't want to be here more than 1 day.
All right. If we're not back in 5 days, then you probably need to move on because bad things are underground and they're going to come back."
Where would I go?
We were sent from Manzo Baranzan.
Oh.
They sent us here to investigate.
I suppose I could go there.
They're also a bit stabby, though. So if it looks dicey, and then I take the mayor's letter and I flip it over and I write a message on the back that just says, "Dear SS McSquiggly, the badger is with us. Look after this badger. If you read this, we're dead. The badger is us now." And I give Pebble the letter that says that.
Can we make a slight alteration of that, of just like seeing eye dogs and stuff like that? It's like, "Hi, my name is Pebbles." It's just like a thing for them to wear. Like, please don't pet me. And so,
Yeah, I think-
but also I am like,
I think what we'll do is we'll make that harness. It'll say that on the front, and then below it, it'll say, "If crew of McSquiggly read this," and that'll
right,
be
yeah.
the letter that explains to them.
So with that, they bid you farewell, and you can make your way back, unless there's anything else you want to do in the mayor's office.
I want to loot it. I'm not expecting magic stuff, but like, it's the mayor's office.
Maybe like a stapler. Or...
As you look through, it seems that
Like a really good photocopier.
this office has legitimately been stripped of a lot of its stuff.
Even copper wire.
Copper wire is still there. You can make a tiny profit.
I'm going to take the copper wire.
You now have a length of copper wire.
Nice, that'll come in handy.
Do you want to put it in my bag of holding?
Yes.
All right, so we put the copper wire in the bag of holding.
Great.
I have to add this to my
yank it
inventory.
out of the
Please tune in
drywall.
soon for our spin-off series.
Faerun Scrapper. Next on TLC, probably.
So having looted the office, you don't find much. It seems that the mayor legitimately had time to pack and leave.
Well, there's
So-
maybe a happy ending there if he left. I was looking at that honestly as a suicide note.
Well, I mean, not terribly brave to doom your entire society and then just fuck off rather than try to save them.
Well, no one's saying they're going to reelect the guy, but I mean, less death. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. It feels weird. Is good.
I mean, Peabody 2020, am I right?
No, I just said. Pebbles, you don't know how democracy works.
But what about her emails?
Yeah, that we've seen the mayor's letter. It's damning, and it was secret in his office.
It'll be redacted in the Mueller report. It's fine. Okay, so you pack up and you head back down into the Ruby and the Ruff's labyrinthine catacombs. At the far edge, you've got the hole leading further down, and it gets very, very dark. Also, can you all please roll me, I'm going to say an insight check, please.
Nat 20.
Nice.
23.
18.
8.
Ranger, you just feel the inexorable pull forward, almost as a desperation. The rest of you begin to hear whispers inside your mind, and they all seem to be vaguely desperate, vaguely confused. They're jumbled. You can't quite make sense of them, but whispers in your head.
Are we all hearing whispers? Everyone?
I nod and take a nip of Gandalf's whatever gilded
Can you roll me a constitution
Swill.
save?
14.
You know the pine tar that you stick on things? That's what this tastes like, and it's just sticky and gross. And for some reason, it's got a mint flavor to it,
Ooh,
which
that
is
makes
just,
it worse
Yeah, it's
somehow.
really not nice. That said, you take a slug of it, and you don't feel the effects immediately, but you're pretty small and it's pretty potent.
Yeah.
As you do so, the whispers get a little bit more muted.
Okay.
As your vision begins to swim slightly.
Oof. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. It works, but it's not worth it. It's don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay, we're going to keep going, I guess.
Would you like me to hold you up by your tiny legs and just like shake you for the puke?
Or do you want us to put a saddle on Ranger and he can carry you because you're not feeling great?
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Number 2.
Number 2. All right, so I take the saddle out of my bag of holding and we put it on Ranger,
Oh.
and then we put Quinny on the saddle.
Yep, bish.
You can't be dismounted.
Unless you want to.
And any attack against Ranger has disadvantage.
You're welcome. I withdraw Ice Brand and point it forward and like, ho, just
Kind of hope that I do die.
a little too loud. I'm like, I feel good.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, our special guest, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons.